Hey guys, welcome to another video from Udcyd. So I hope my previous video, the drone fan light, gave you some value of some sort, and if you liked it, I hope you liked it and shared it, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. So today my intention is to keep this video short and sweet, get to the point, because the first video was literally the foundation, so you can always go back to that video and see like how to calculate shipping, what are the most important things to look for when you're on the Alibaba site, and so forth. So today we're going to be talking about the portable barbecue set or disposable barbecue set. So this is a great product. First I'm going to show you the video, so I'm going to enlarge my screen. So this specific product that's on the front page is the video on the left, which is this one. So I'm going to play this one first so you can see. Easy setup. Light your coals, add your skewers, and you're done. So anyway, it's short and sweet, but you can pause this video, rewind, whatever makes you feel happy. So I bought the product so you don't have to. Anyway, this is the actual product. It has the box, as you can see. It has the tray. It has the grill grid and coals, a paintbrush, and an ash picker. I don't know what the use of that is, but I guess it's to wipe off the ash when it gets too hot or whatever. But anyway, that's what's in the package. And then I'm going to show you the one on the right. There's a lot of commentary on this specific product, so it's going to come. So just be a little patient. So the one on the right, we went camping like almost 2 weeks ago. Went to like an RV site, and they didn't allow us to have like a whole barbecue stand there and light a fire because, well, maybe we'd set the place on light. We don't know if we camping with arsonists or whatever, but anyway, we got this specific one. So after watching the video, I'll tell you why it's also pretty good. Easy setup. So as you can see in that specific video, this was our RV, and as I said, we couldn't make fires, so they gave us this portable barbecue set, which really came in handy. Like, we roasted sweet corn, we did some sausages, some ribeye steak, some chicken, so it was pretty useful. So one of these, you can use them for up to like an hour and a half. So the one on the left obviously would be like an hour. The one on the right will be like an hour and a half, but you can always like update the coals or change the coals. It's up to you. As I said, like, you use it and you can dispose it, or you use it and you can keep it. But I would say the one on the right, you'd use it, and if this white surface over here, which they call volcanic rock, because it's like a rock like material, cracks, then you can't use it next time. Whereas this one, it's just a tray and a grill grid, so you could always like wash that and use it next time. It's pretty convenient. So both of these are really good products, but the supply in question is for these. This one, I still can't find it. Like, I've searched the whole of Alibaba, but they advertise it, but when I ask, they show me the one on the left. So it's not that easy to get. So for example's sakes, today I will be using this one. So let's get to it. So where would this product be suitable for? Like, why would you buy it? If you're like a entrepreneur or someone just looking to start a side hustle, why would you buy this product? So I would, if it were me, I would buy this product and actually buy like a ton of them, and then go to like camping ground businesses. So where people go and camp, park their tents, park their RVs, and sell it to the actual place. Some of them usually have like little stores or kiosks over there. So if like one person comes just to camp and they don't really want to make a whole fire, they can just buy this from the little store, cook their meat and whatever, and wham bam, goodbye Sam. And then I also sell it to like gas stations. So in Zimbabwe, for example, back in the day, we used to like travel to another city, and w- when we got tired to stretch our legs, we'd stop at a lay-by. And at this lay-by, we'd have snacks and sandwiches and all of that. But imagine you had this product. So you had this product, your parents just buy like stuff to put in the cooler box, like meat and anything you can put on a skewer, like vegetables or whatever, some buns on the side. And then you stop at a lay-by for like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, get this grill out, you cook your meat, you have a whole lunch, and then you continue with your journey. So I would think that gas stations would be the ideal place for this product, as well as those people that love to host like outdoor events. Because if you light this indoors, it's gonna like obviously when you light it, it's gonna bring a lot of smoke. So it's not ideal for lighting it indoors. So people that host like outdoor events, so the plan would be to buy this barbecue disposable barbecue set, and then package your meat on the side, like have a little barbecue pack. So in this barbecue pack you have your skewers, you have a piece of steak, your sausages, you sell buns on the side, some gravy over there, some potato salad. Like it can be sold as one pack when you have like outdoor events. People are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like I didn't come here with the intention of eating like a whole barbecue meal, but here it is. you know People are getting more and more creative when it comes to like food these days. So I would say like this will also be good if you sell to those people that have these event spaces, outdoor event spaces, and they have their little kiosk or store, and you can market it to them. And another thing, another place you can actually be a potential customer. As I said, target market, potential customer after you buy a ton of these could be like lodges. I don't know if you have them like um overseas or whatever, but we like back in like Africa, in Zim especially, we have lodges. So basically it's like a self-catering, let's just call it like a self-catering Airbnb. That's just pretty cool. Anyway, that you go, you buy your own stuff, you basically just rent in their water, their beds, electricity, and you staying in this like awesome place with like lakes, and you can go on safaris, and the list goes on. So anyway, lodges and chalets are similar in this sense, and I already mentioned lay-by. When you traveling and you stop halfway before your destination, you have some lunch, blah blah blah. So these are all the places you can market this product to and say, hey, I got this product. You can do this and that. But at the end of the day, nowadays it's not about selling a product, it's about selling an idea, a concept. So you would sell them the concept, not the product. So you're not going to say, I have these barbecue sets. No, you're going to say, hey, make a little, you can make DIY, make your own little bride packs or whatever, like present it in a way that they want to buy it. Not just, okay, here's a disposable barbecue set. No, you got to sell the concept, sell the idea. And that's going to be my next video anyway, with the portable bento boxes, but the cool ones. Anyway, moving on. So that's your target market. So if you're thinking of starting these type of things, again, you don't have to think like super big, like, oh, I don't have a store on Amazon, I don't have a store on Shopify. Start small. You can look at Facebook, you can have a WhatsApp business account. It allows you to like advertise your products over there. You start in your community and grow from there. So you get like 100, 200 of these, you load it on your WhatsApp business account, just the pictures and the price. People will contact you. You go outside, you say, hey, I got these things, do you want to buy, blah 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 blah. It all starts there. Even a Facebook account, you just start your Facebook account. As long as you're trustworthy and you're reliable, you deliver on time, and you don't try to like sidestep your customers or whatever, and they give you good reviews, you're pretty much in business. You don't need a expensive Shopify or Amazon store, your own website. You can start somewhere, you can make passive income. So what I suggest is, when you want to start these businesses and you have some money saved up that you want, then I wouldn't say want to lose or willing to lose or whatever, not saying you will lose it, but it's money that won't affect your daily life, like paying your rent or your bills or whatever. I would say like buy a few of these products, not specific this one, just in general. Buy a few products, invest in the social media aspect of it, where it's a Facebook account or WhatsApp business account. Start selling and then grow from there. So let's move on. So this is the supplier info. So as I said from the previous video, This page can give you a lot of information about your supplier, but this one's going to be a little different, and I wanted to use this example so you can see that, okay, there are some things that are requisites when looking for a supplier, and there's some things that you can slightly tweak that you're like, you know what, I can still trust the supplier. So let's look at the supplier information. This is Linie Guamfa Industry and Trade Co. Limited, and it shows you that information, but I'll explain it more in depth in the next one. So on the right hand side, as you can see, I've enlarged it. It tells you the variations and the quantity. So it gives you the color, it gives you the type of rack, it tells you what's inside, as I said, the grill grid, the ash stripper, the brush, the coal, etc. And it tells you the minimum order quantity is 12 pieces on the top right hand side. So anyway, and it gives you the price. So you just click on the plus button and you will see the price at the bottom of the screen. So I've enlarged the supplier information, the Linie Guamfa Industry and Trade Co. Limited, and yeah, the next slide will tell you all the information you need to know. So what do we know about the supplier? We know that it's based in China, based on the flag. It's been 4 years on the Alibaba platform. It has trade assurance, which is that like gold icon with a dollar sign inside. Let me reduce this so you can see. And then it has the supplier index, which is this, which is only one, but it's fairly new. It's a fairly new company, so that's okay. The response time is under 2 hours, which, as I said, is also okay. The response rate is 100%. Okay, well and good. So there's other information that's available when you're looking at a supplier that you can look at, because you won't just like disregard the supplier because they're not like verified, or like some crazy stuff. You have to look at all the details they provide so that you can make a better decision. So in this case, they don't have the verified supplier icon, so probably they're a small company. So how do we know they're a small company? Because they said their range or the floor area space where they produce these things is between 3,000 to 5,000. And in the previous video, that supply was like 7,000. So you know that this is also still a pretty small factory base that they have. So it doesn't mean that they're not a good company. Then you have the markets, their main markets. So this is also an important thing to look at, because on the previous video, you could also go to that supplier for the drone fan light and look at the main markets. So it will say like Americas, Africa, Middle East, or those places. So it will give you the demographics in which they've already been selling. So let's say in the Americas, like, then oh, they've shipped to my country already. It's gonna be an easy process, and I will just use them to buy and ship and pack my products. But as I said before, it might be a little bit expensive because they put their markup on all phases of the invoice. But anyway, here you can see it says domestic market. So now it's an important thing about this supplier. You know that for sure 100% most of their revenue comes from the domestic market, and they've just entered Alibaba and they want to now make their money. So now they've entered Alibaba. You can see they've been on here for 4 years. Now they have the trade assurance. So they're building towards becoming a verified supplier. But for now, their main focus is the domestic market. And if I show you in this previous slide, like their main categories are air fryers, paper, aluminium foil, blah, 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 and mainly like barbecue grills. So now that we know that they're a domestic supplier, but they just entered on the Alibaba platform, we could still trust them because they have the trade assurance icon. So everything should happen with this supplier on Alibaba to avoid like scams or whatever. Like, don't pay them off Alibaba. Pay on Alibaba, because then okay, you have your trade assurance. If stuff goes wrong and you want to return your products, you can. And then here, where it says verified, as you can see, there's a dash. So it means they're not yet verified. But because they're a small company and they're trying to grow on Alibaba, eventually they'll become a verified supplier. So I wouldn't just like say, no, I'm not going to use this supplier. I'm going to go find another verified supplier. this can be your starting point because you know that their products are not that expensive, and we'll get to that. But anyway, moving on. So we know the company, as I said, that tells you everything about it, and then we do a little checklist. So we do a little checklist before we contact the supplier. As I said, you can look at the previous video where they had like attributes, reviews, product descriptions, supplier, etc. So you look at that first, and then you contact them. So we're gonna check the attributes, as I said, the reviews, the supplier, check the description, check the MOQ, check export countries capabilities, which I said was here. You'll look under here. This I just screenshot this, but everything that I screenshot is from the supplier screen or profile. So we've done our checklist. Now we contact the supplier. So we've got our supplier. Now what? So as I said, we contact the supplier. We pay attention to their response times to see how fast or how slow they respond. But this time it'll be better because already you know what questions to ask. You've checked their attributes, you've checked their details, you checked the description, you checked the supplier. You already know what to ask. So you hope that the communication won't be as long as you perceive because you already know what to ask. And then, as I said, ask the right questions. Then you do a comparison. So you find two extra suppliers providing the same product, and then you do a comparison. So when you get to another supplier, all you're going to ask is like, what's your price? What's your MOQ? You don't really need to ask the dimensions or the carton measurements because you're already going to ask them from this supplier. And if they're selling the exact same product, the sizes are probably going to be the same. They probably get it from some big supplier, and they all like you buy some and then resell. You know what I mean? But if you find the original supplier of that specific product, you know the price is going to be cheaper. Moving on. So what do we know? So what we know based on the live chat we had before making this video is there are 24 pieces in one carton. The carton measurements are that. They have two color options, light green and sky blue, and you can choose the grill type you want. I specifically like the grill that fits the tray. So it's the same shape as the tray. Like I wouldn't get a square grill grid for a round tray. You know what I mean? Makes no sense. I'd get a round grill grid for a round tray. And what else? Yes, there is an option for a large one. So the large one has a tinfoil tray. I'm not really a fan because I don't think now that's disposable. You won't be able to reuse it. Of course, you're not supposed to reuse these things because it's disposable, but come on, at least use it like at least 3 times before you chuck it. You spend money on that stuff. So I wouldn't get the tinfoil tray one. I know that's what they sell out there, but it doesn't seem like strong enough, whereas a tray is much stronger, or the volcanic rock one obviously is much stronger, but it has potential to crack. So in essence, I would get the tray one, the tray option. Each box, as I said, comes with a grill grid, ash stripper, tray, brush, and charcoal. The minimum order quantity on their screen profile is 12 pieces, but they also say it's 50 pieces. So 12 might be a clickbait, but it's always good to inquire. So usually, like, you see these companies like MOQ1, MOQ2. The minute you chat to them, they're like, no, MOQ 1,000. And then, yeah, well, game over. Anyway, moving on. So with 1,000 pieces, you can customize your packaging, obviously. Like, their packaging might be plain packaging or packaging with Chinese writing or whatever. So if you want your own label, your own instructions, you would do that by buying 1,000 pieces plus. And as I said in my previous video, if you want to design your own packaging, you rather ask them for the actual unfolded box measurements to give your designer so they can design accordingly, right? Or save costs, ask for a plain box, get some stickers made, slap that on. Everyone wants to be eco-friendly. Wham, bam. Goodbye, Sam. Anyway, so the product has coal bags. So that's what I wanted to say after watching those 2 videos. And these are flammable or categorized as flammable, even though they're not lit. So they are categorized as flammable. So you'd have to let your freight shipping agent know that, okay, this package contains coal. So there's a possibility that you might have to ship it without or ship it separately. Of course, if you're doing air fry, they're gonna be like, no coal. But if you have a very good shipping agent, they have a way around these things. They just say, oh, it might take a longer time. But I would advise just let your shipping agent know that there are flammable goods, which is coal. Now you know what to look for. What questions do you ask your supplier that is not known? So I just showed you what I ask the supplier, what is known, which makes your life easier. So when you do contact them, again, you're asking the right questions. So in the previous slide, I assisted you in helping you avoid unnecessary questions, but you can still ask them to confirm. That's good. So you will ask, do you ship to my country? And you tell them where you're from, blah, 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 blah. What Incoterm will you use? So EXW, FOB. So EXW would be great if you have your own shipping agent because they will give you factory price. But it will be an extra cost to deliver those goods from their warehouse, the factory warehouse, to your shipping agent's warehouse, which is not a lot. But yeah. And if you use FOB, obviously I said they might inflate the price when it comes to shipping and so forth. So shipping is obviously a touchy subject these days, especially like if you want to ship to America, because we have tariffs, like crazy tariffs and stuff like that. But if you look at the advantages, if you're in Africa, you don't really have to worry too much about that. Or if you're in other places, you just check your tariff rates, and you don't have to worry too much about that. Mama, go. So yeah, that was my delivery guy and me saying in Chinese, please put it at the door. Anyway, I'm not going to cut this video. This is all unedited because the more I try to edit and make it perfect, it takes longer to release. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So yes, and then you will ask them, can you provide me with a quotation? So let's say you want 1,008 pieces. That'll be 42 cartons. Because as I said, you don't want to order uneven numbers and then you have like 5 pieces just chilling on the side, and then they have to give you the measurements of those 5 pieces and the weight for those 5 pieces, and it's just a lot of admin. And then now with the supplier, you can ask for 5 bags of coal in each box. So if you want, you can ask them. Instead of 3 bags, you can ask for 5. It's up to you. Or just don't pack the coals in the box for shipping purposes. So let's say the example is an EXW to Qingdao Sea Warehouse. Then you will have your local shipping from Qingdao Warehouse. So you'll have your local shipping from the factory to your Qingdao warehouse where your shipping agent is based. Then let's say you want customized packaging. So as I said, the minimum order quantity for customized packaging is 1,000 pieces, and you're ordering 1,008, so you're within the range. You get it with your logo, your color palette, the box material like craft paper, no gloss, with gloss, up to you. Then you ask them, this is the most important part, if the package is not wrapped in like plastic, like that very thin plastic, you will ask them to wrap it with that. But if they already wrapped in plastic, I'll still wrap it twice. Because if I'm going to ship by sea, stuff happens. Stuff I can't explain. But mostly, if you ship by sea, like your stuff can get wet, the box will be damaged. So at least if they're packed well, double packed, like you have the packaging in the normal, like thin plastic, and then you ask them to wrap it again before putting it in the box. And then when you ship it with your shipping agent, they don't have to repack or anything. Maybe they will cut one box open, check your stock, and wrap it again. But you have to be sure. You have to like make sure, like you tell them, hey, please pack my stuff well so that it's protected from rain. Of course, if it's fragile items, you're gonna have to put like bubble wrap or whatever. And if other things, then you have to put it on a pallet and whatnot. But these things are pretty simple. They're in a box, wrapped with a thin piece of plastic paper. Just when they pack those 24 pieces in that one carton, rewrap with plastic just to be 100% sure and safe that by the time they arrive and you go and show your customers all these camping ground places, lodges, gas stations, it comes in pristine condition. So extra precaution is better than getting a damaged box and damaged goods and you can't resell them, or you're spending more money to repack them. So what do you provide your shipping agent? You obviously provide him the invoice, the paid invoice, your packing list. So basically your packing list is the contents that you are shipping. So because it's not just the box you're shipping, your packing list will be the tray, the grill grid, the ash stripper, the coals, whatever. It's everything in that box is your packing list. So you have to like list those so they know, oh, in one box it contains this. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, like with or without call, you still provide the packing list. And then you ask them for insurance. So when you're shipping by sea, it's better just to get like pay a little bit extra money for some insurance. That way, if some damage happens along the way, or your stuff gets lost or stolen or by pirates, that doesn't happen. But just say you have some insurance, and then you ask them to deliver it duty paid. So if you're like me, like from Africa, for example, from Zimbabwe, and you ship your stuff via sea, my shipping agent provides the duty included in that shipping fee. So by the time the stuff arrives in Zimbabwe, all I just do is go and pick it up because everything is delivered, duty paid. All the taxes, fees, customs, everything is included. So that's always like a safety net because I wouldn't just like do like ship by myself and then I'm not in Zimbabwe and I don't know the customs agent and he decides, oh no, I'm gonna slap I don't know how many percent on top of what you need to pay and it's gonna take like so long to clear and this as I said it's an extra headache. So I would suggest like if you have a if you have a few like shipping agents that are well known for shipping from China or whatever, just ask them if you can get with duty and duty paid and your problems are pretty much solved. So, as I said in the previous slides, there's a small option and a large option from this specific supplier. So, the small option is the tray, and the large option is the foil. As I said, the foil it just looks cheap, like it just looks like if something happens, that thing is gonna just fall apart. My meat is gonna fall in the coals, or I'm gonna bump it over. I don't know, but it just doesn't look secure to me. But other people like it. It has been tested and used, but I'm not a fan. If I get the large one, I would get the volcanic rock one, but it's not the supplier, so I would like resort to the tray option. And again, I asked them, can you make the large one with a tray? And they said, yes, we can, but it's going to be an extra cost because for the large ones, we only make the tinfoil tray option. So I think that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm sorry if it's long and I was blabbering on and you heard my delivery guy at the door, but this is what I got for you today. I hope you make good decisions, good life decisions. You figure out your way to passive income. As I said, you don't have to start like an Amazon store, like a Shopify store. Just start with what's available to you now. And what's available to you now is a bunch of social media platforms. You can start selling on Facebook, and then it will grow from there. You can start selling on your WhatsApp business, and you can grow from there. At the end of the day, just be wise, be reliable, and be honest, and your business will flourish. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like, subscribe button, and see you soon. Bye for now.